Okay, attempt number 2. Um, uh, when someone tells you that they are allowed to invade your privacy and publicly expose these things, and it's not illegal, it is legal. You are entitled to a certain amount of privacy in America. In fact, uh, there are several privacy acts that state that you are. So don't believe that for a minute. There are misconceptions that everything is a one-sided story. It's not. I have to go back home to get a few of my things here in a little while. As soon as I do, I'm going to make another video, kind of show you guys the bullet holes in our mailbox, bullet holes in our house, things from the past of conspiracies to extort and violence that led up to situations, and just kind of give you guys the rundown or the reality of things that actually happen. I've never caused bodily harm to anybody. Most of the time, most of my actions have been taken out of self-defense, which you are entitled to in America. The biggest issue that I've had in my life, and the reason why I'm getting a body cam and a GoPro, is that things like this can be reported to police, but it is never actually taken seriously, like the hacked phone, like you guys saw earlier. I went to report that and was told that that's just what phones do. That's not illegal. There's no harassment involved, nothing like that, and that is the thing that's been going on for a long time. There's also another misbelief that you can be punished for things that they assume you did without actually having the burden of proof or having to take you to court. That's also false. That those are constitutional rights. You do have the right to a fair and speedy trial, which fair means in judicial misconduct clauses that they are not allowed to predetermine your case. They're not allowed to hide things in media and things like that to put it in a juror's mind that you're guilty before you make it to the courtroom. That's unacceptable. Most news stories, sometimes, very seldomly, you'll see an investigation and they'll talk about people, before they get to court, which is not the way it's supposed to work. Most of the times they release these after they've already been to court. But that is judicial misconduct. Putting it in the public's mind that the person is guilty before they ever go to court is highly illegal, as a matter of fact, because that goes against their rights to a fair trial. You're also entitled to a trial if you're being accused of something. So when I go home, I'm just gonna kind of show the bullet holes, things like that, things that have transpired because of some of these extortion conspiracies, and I don't know. I might get to the point of filing the patent, and they might say, well, it's already been patented, and I might have to go to court if the patent date was after the date that I was kind of coming up with it, or they might tell me to piss off, which I kind of doubt. Again, you're not really supposed to be punished for crimes you didn't commit or crimes that they assume you committed. That's not really the way the American justice system works. The way it's actually supposed to work is they're supposed to present physical evidence in court of what you did. It's not It's not a one-sided story. You do have the right to defend yourself. That's why you have a right to a public attorney. And like I've been doing for years, I always kind of take my own evidence and to show kind of what's going on and to protect myself in these situations, because you know, it's not what they're supposed to do. They try to do that sometimes, but it's not. It's kind of like being told your phone's not hacked by a police officer and refusing to take a report. They're not legally supposed to do that. If you genuinely have a concern that your phone is hacked, you have a right to justice, and that is in the Constitution. And no, me putting these videos out is not just me complaining or anything like that. I am showing the reality of what crimes are committed against me on a yearly basis. And people look at me and they go, well, you're crazy. You don't like America. You say America's communism. And that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm kind of saying they're communist. I'm kind of saying they're not. And I'm not saying I hate them. I'm just literally telling it like I see it. And hopefully over time, these videos will show kind of like 2014, having to take a hair follicle to prove that I'm not on meth because somebody in the media wants to ruffle feathers, basically, and say that I'm on meth because I decided to be nice to my girlfriend. These are the kinds of things that I'm looking to avoid in the future. If you want to commit crimes against me, that's great. You're going to be on basically on video doing it. That's where I'm at in life. That's unfortunate, but that is what it is. If you're going to steal my intellectual property, you're going to do it publicly. I am no longer in a position to allow these things to happen. I've let it go for a long time, tried to enjoy my life, but there's a certain point where you are forced to react, and we passed that point probably last year. And that's pretty well all there is to it. When these things happen, these things are going to be public. So I really don't care, what people think of it. It is what it is. You're going to get both sides of the story. You're going to see the whole thing. There's going to be some cool videos along the way. And you're going to see some of the bullshit that I have to put up with on a daily basis, like hacked phones, privacy invasions, harassment, intellectual property theft, the things that I have put up with for a long time that is no longer acceptable to me. Thank you guys. Have a good night.